Sabi po ni Panelo kay retired Judge Jaime Santiago, go back to law school niya. Pababalikin mo sa law school ang isang retired judge. Kaya mga kababayan, itong kampo ni Sara Duterte, patong-patong na problema po ang kinakaharap ngayon. Kasi mahilig sila sa gatong. You are adding fuel to the fire. Sakrista ng Bulaang Propeta. Yung Bulaang Propeta, alam na natin, pinapatungkulan yon si Pacquiao. Pero yung sakrista, di lang matatanggal at madidisqualify si Sara. Kundi, pati pagkakulong, for 6 months to 6 years yata yung sedisyon. Yon ang naghihintay mga kababayan kay Sara Duterte because of her arrogance.
Nagpapagang mga balita at magtamakay sa mga isyo na lipungan. Opinyon, para at paglalantad sa katotohanan. What you see is what you get. Unisan.
Bumanat na naman po si Atty. Panelo kasi nag-react siya mga kababayan doon sa pag-file ng NBI sa DOJ ng kaso, sedition case, inciting to sedition and grave threats laban kay Sara Duterte. Sabi po ni Panelo sa NBI chief kay Judge, retired Judge Santiago, Jaime Santiago, go back to law school niya. Pababalikin mo sa law school ang isang retired judge. Kaya mga kababayan, itong kampo ni Digong, ni Sara Duterte, patong-patong na problema po ang kinakaharap ngayon. Kasi mahilig sila sa gatong. Adding fuel to the fire, mga kababayan. Mahilig sila mang-insulto. Yan Sal Panelo Slams, NBI Chief, over cases versus BP Sara, go back to law school. Diba, mga kababayan? Ibiblical po, mga kababayan. Sabi sa Bible. Sabi ni King Solomon sa Proverbs 26, verse 20 to 21. So quarrels disappear when the gossip ends. Add fuel to the fire, and the blaze goes on. So add an argumentative man to the mix, and you will keep strife alive. Yan po si Panelo. Manang-mana mga kababayan sa kanyang amo na si Digong. Mahilig sa manghang na mga salita. Kaya kayo nalalagay sa problema. Kaya sabi nga natin mga kababayan, itong tambak na problema ng mga Duterte, especially si Sara Duterte, bunga ng kanyang walang prinong bibig, walang prino kung magsalita, hindi nag-iisip. So nilagay niya mga kababayan yung kanyang sarili sa napakalaking problema na malamang other than sa siya mga kababayan makonvict, na-impeach na siya po ng Kongreso. So malamang siya makonvict ng Senado dahil sa napakalakas na mga ebidensya laban sa kanya doon sa articles of impeachment na ang number 1 doon yung pagbabanta niya sa buhay ng ating Pangulo. So other than siya makonvict at madisqualify perpetually na tumakbo pa sa any public office, si Sara Duterte mga kababayan malamang makulong dahil sa kaso kriminal na kanyang kinakaharap ngayon. Nagsalita na po si DOJ Secretary JC Andres. They will use the full force of the law to exact accountability. Sa nagkasala, na-interview po si kahapon ng One News, si JC Andres. Mamaya, iparinig ko sa inyo mga kababayan yung interview sa kanya. Balikan muna natin itong sinabi ni Panelo, go back to law school niya. Mas magaling po si NBI Director Jaime Santiago. Naging judge po. Si Panelo, hindi man po naging judge. Sharpshooter pati yun. May pelikula yun mga kababayan na ginanap ni Bong Revilla. SPO4, Jimmy Santiago, Sharpshooter. Diba? Itong si Panelo talaga. Mahilig manggatong. Yan sabi niya dito, former Presidential Legal Counsel Salvador Panelo blasted National Bureau of Investigation and its Director Jaime Santiago for filing what he called baseless charges against Vice President Sara Duterte before the DOJ kahapon. In a statement, Panelo slammed Santiago by telling him to go back to law school after the agency recommended criminal charges against Duterte. tigilan ninyo ang mga manghang na salita. Pero alangan man mag-advise tayo dito sa mga matitigas ang ulo. Ituloy lang ninyo ang inyong mga masasamang gawain. May paglalagyan kayo. You're adding fuel to the fire. Kaya nga kayo nalalagay sa seryosong problema dahil sa inyong mga walang habas na pagpapalabas ng mga masasamang salita. Ito na mismo ang kaso ni Sara. Inciting to sedition, grave threats. Sabi ni Panelo, his agency's recommendation to file charges of grave threats in inciting to sedition against BP Sara has no basis anya, in fact, or law. It is obviously tainted with politics and is just part of a demolition job by her political enemies to take her out of contention for the 2028 presidential race, sabi ni Panelo. Kahit ano pang sabihin mo, Panelo, malinaw sa isip ng mga mamamayang Filipino all throughout the world. Recorded at paulit-ulit po, pwedeng i-play. Nasa YouTube, yung pagbabanta ni Sara Duterte. At kailangang harapin niya ang consequences ng kanyang mga aksyon. Gusto mo, i-defend mo si Sara. Kaya lang, hindi ka man yata kasama sa legal team ni Sara kahit na doon sa impeachment trial. O, diba? Ibig sabihin, wala man tiwala si Sara sa'yo. Kasi hindi ka parte ng impeachment legal team para sa impeachment trial ni Sara. Sabi ni Panelo, nagtawanan pa niya. Sabi rito, he also ridiculed the grave threats charge, saying there can be no crime of a threat from the grave. Bakit? Patay na ba si Sara ngayon? Diba? Para sabihin mo na there can be no threat from the grave. Siguro, ang punto mo, dahil sa sinasabi ninyong conditional yung threat ni Sara, kung siya ay mamatay, may inutusan na siya na patayin si Bongbong Marcos, Lisa Marcos, tapos si Martin Romualdez. Pero yung threat na kanyang yung threat, ginawa niya, ngayon na buhay siya. Kasi yung patay, hindi naman po pwedeng manakot pa ang patay. Nananakot po yung buhay pa. Yung pananakot niya pagbabanta, ginawa niya habang siya ay buhay na buhay. Kung saan, ang utos niya, pag siya ay namatay, no joke anya, nangontrata na ng assassin, napapatay sa Pangulo, sa First Lady at sa Speaker. Ginawa niya yan, buhay na buhay siya, recorded. Malabo, Panelo, yung argumento na there's no such crime, no crime of threat from the grave. Kasi malinaw na yung kanyang pananakot, ginawa niya, buhay na buhay siya. At pag namatay siya, i-execute. I-order na I-execute yung pagpatay. Huwag kami, Panelo. Pilit mong pinipilipit yung katotohanan. I-recorded po. Preserve ng NBI. And because of this, there is now a case built up laban kay Sara Duterte. Sabi po ni JC Andres. Yan si Panelo. Panelo, I'm not on BP Sara's legal team. But I will defend her to whatever end. Hindi man siya pala kasama sa legal team ni Sara Duterte. Yang ginagawa niya, sige daldal niya sa media. Na imbes makatulong mga kababayan, lalo na nagpapalala sa sitwasyon. Kasi siyempre, ininsulto mo yung NBI. Lalo gaganahan niya yung NBI sa pagkalap ng mga ebidensya para siguruhing mapin down si Sara Duterte. Diba? You are adding fuel to the fire. Malinaw ang sabi sa Bible. Add fuel to the fire, and the blaze goes on. So add an argumentative man to the mix, and you will keep strife alive. Ito yung argumentative man. Iminix niya yung kanyang sarili sa usapan na lalo na nagpapalagablab sa apoy. Kasi he is adding fuel to the fire. Ganon ang mga kasama ni Sara Duterte ni Digong. Kasi pare-pareho silang mga arugante, mga mayayabang. Sabi ko sa inyo, hindi magkakamali, Panelo, ang Bible. Mas matalino sa iyo si King Solomon. Sa experience ni King Solomon at yung wisdom ni King Solomon galing sa Diyos. Diyos na totoo, hindi galing sa pastor na sabi ng ating Pangulong Bongbong Marcos, bulaang propeta. May dinescribe si President Bongbong Marcos doon sa kick-off rally ng Alyansa para sa bagong Pilipinas. Nasakristanan niya ng bulaang propeta. Ang isang kandidato niya sa pagkasenador. Sakristan ng bulaang propeta. Yung bulaang propeta, alam na natin, pinapatungkulan yon si Pacquiao. Pero yung sakristan, malamang kung hindi si Bongo, si Bato ang pinatatamaan ni... Kasi dalawa yung kandidato for re-election. Si Bongo tapos si Bato. Durog na durog po sa ating Pangulong Bongbong Marcos. Tumapang yung Tigre ng Norte. Nagpakita po ng pangil. O ngayon, balikan natin itong kay Sara Duterte. Nasabi natin, mga kababayan, hindi lang matatanggal at madidisqualify si Sara. Yan ang kanyang possible destiny, mga kababayan, sa nakikita nating writings on the wall. Mene, mene, tekel o parsin. Kundi, pati pagkakulong. For 6 months to 6 years yata yung sedisyon. Yon ang naghihintay, mga kababayan, kay Sara Duterte dahil sa kanyang because of her arrogance. Itong mga kaso itong kinasadlakan ni Sara, sa impeachment case, pati dito sa criminal case. Lahat ito, mga kababayan, kagagawan niya. Sabi nga natin, wala man nagsabi sa kanya na magbanta siya. Walang nagsabi sa kanyang magpapreskon siya at magtantrums. Magwala. Kasalanan nito mismo ni Sara Duterte. At possibly, nagkulang din yung kanyang mga advisers. Or kung yung mga advisers, pinagsabihan si Sara, dahil matigas ang ulo ni Sara, hindi man siguro pinakinggan. Yung tatay, wala na tayong asahan kasi pareha sila. Mana sa tatay. Madaling sabi, ang mag-ama kasi hindi naturuan ng tama. Sumobra, mga kababayan. Kaya ito kinakalos ng ating gobyerno. Kasi pag sobra, sabi ni Fernando Poe Jr., dapat nang kalusin. Kaya sabi ng DOJ, intent is crucial in grave threats case over BP Kill remarks. Sabi ng DOJ, the crime of grave threats anya is determined based on whether there was an intent to intimidate or cause fear, even if the targets does not take the word seriously or comes to harm. This is what the Supreme Court has ruled, and it is what the DOJ will consider when it evaluates the criminal complaint filed against Vice President Sara Duterte for her statement saying that she had given orders to a person stating that if she is killed, this person must then kill the President, the First Lady, and the Speaker. O ngayon, sa question kung na-intimidate yung ating Pangulo and cause fear, of course, hindi man ipapalata ng ating Pangulo na na-intimidate siya kasi siya presidente. Pero the fact na nag-increase po, nag-strengthen ng kanyang security, ibig sabihin, seryoso yung banta. Nire-recognize, mga kababayan, ng Presidential Security Group na seryoso. So sabi po ng DOJ, that the crime of grave threats penalizes statements that create real and imminent danger to specific persons, regardless of whether actual harm takes place. Based on the Supreme Court ruling, what matters is whether the words were meant to convey a serious threat or instill fear. Sabi po niya, sabi po dito, it is not necessary that the recipient actually feels intimidated or takes the words seriously. What is crucial is that the statement was made with the purpose of creating intimidation or fear. This is what the prosecutors will evaluate based on the evidence presented. As for inciting to sedition, it explained that this crime penalizes statements that pose a real imminent threat to public order even if no actual unrest takes place. Tapos, nakita po ng NBI na after na dumaldal at magbanta si Sara Duterte, ang mga sumunod na aksyon ng kanyang mga supporters ay yung massive na panggatong for people power. Lahat yun po documented. At yung iba, pabalik-balik na po sa EDSA, matagal na. May Friday group nga po. Proud na proud sila na nananawagan ng pag-aalsa. Pinabayaan lang po ng ating mga authorities para masilo. O ngayon, nasilo kayo, na-trap. Lahat ng ebidensya ibinigay ng mga supporters ni Sara Duterte. Kasi kasabay ng kanyang mga panawagan at pagbabanta, pananakot sa ating Pangulong Bongbong Marcos, may mga actions na ginagawa sa labas, lalo doon sa EDSA People Power shrine, ang nagbigay ng ebidensya sila mismo. So kahit pala walang actual unrest, pwede kang ipinalize for inciting to sedition. The law does not require that an unlawful act be carried out. Only that the statement was made with the intent to stir public unrest or disrupt stability. This is what the prosecutors will evaluate based on the evidence presented. Ang daming ebidensya po. Sa mismong mga panawagan ng kanyang tatay at ng kanyang buong pamilya, pati ni Baste ni Pulong, sa mga rallies, yung maisog rally po, bukang bibig. Kaya tingin ko mga kababayan, with this case na final na may kulong, malamang mag-ala Attorney Harry Roque si Sara, tumakas palabas ng bansa at malamang magtago sa Beijing. Kasama yung kanyang tatay. Tama na niya tayo kasi yung another sword of Damocles naghihintay sa atin, yung Interpol na pwedeng itap ng ICC before election mga kababayan. Sabi ko sa inyo, na-underestimate nila yung ating Pangulong Bongbong Marcos. Ang akala nila, mula sa bibig mismo kasi ni Digong, pinaniwala yung kanyang mga supporters, pati yung kanyang sarili, pinaniwala na si PBBM weak leader, bangag weak leader. O ito ngayon, sunod-sunod mga kababayan, ang aksyon ng ating gobyerno para sila papanagutin. Sasabihin nila siyempre, this is political persecution. Sabi ni pinaliwanag na to ni DOJ Secretary Yusek Andres, hindi niya ito political persecution. Mamaya ay parinig ko sa inyo. So sabi dito sa balita, the National Bureau of Investigation filed a complaint for grave threats in inciting to sedition against Duterte before the DOJ. Kahapon po, the DOJ will now evaluate the complaint and decide if a preliminary investigation is necessary. Under the DOJ rules, the investigating prosecutors must determine whether, based on the evidence, there is a prima facie case with reasonable certainty of conviction. So, paliwanag ni Yusek Andres, dati probable cause. Ngayon, mas tinaasan na po. Kailangang prima facie evidence o malakas na ebidensya with certainty of conviction. Ang ipafile nila na kaso, ang ipa-file ng DOJ kaso sa korte, kaya nasa thorough investigation na po sila, thorough evaluation ng mga ebidensya na hawak nila ngayon. Ang mga ebidensyang itong hawak nila, kasama dito po yung recorded video, preserved by the NBI, authenticated, na talagang yun ang naging presscon. Yung online presscon po ni Sara, na doon yung early in the morning na nag-trigger sa kanya, yung pagka-hospital po ni Zuleika Lopez, yung kanyang chief of staff, yun ang nagtulak sa kanya para magwala. You see? O ito yung paliwanag po ni DOJ Undersecretary JC Andres. This is not political and BP Sara is not immune from lawsuit. Sabi po niya sa interview ng The Big Story. Pakinggan natin mga kababayan yung porsyon ng kanyang interview.
She may bring forth to establish her defense. That much we are assuring the public. And if the Vice President is saying that the work of the NBI is as expected, our response is, it is as expected because the law should be respected. It doesn't mean
Correct.
that if you are a high official or an ordinary individual, a different standard is being used. No, there is only one standard for the rule of law, and the due process is something that we will guarantee. And a fair evaluation and a just resolution will be forthcoming from the Department of Justice.
Yusek, you did explain earlier already that the Vice President is not immune to suit, but the question is, If she is found guilty, can she be sentenced to jail term while still in office? And are we correct, as we reported
Makukulong po
earlier,
si Sara?
these crimes are still bailable? And tama po ba na 6 months minimum ang tinitignan na jail term
6
for
months
these
to
crimes?
6 years po?
Well, correct. First, she is not immune from suit. Second, the offenses are bailable. And even if she is convicted, it cannot amount to her removal from office. But a criminal penalty, a sentence, could be the trial court after the court is convinced that there is proof of doubt, and a penalty of imprisonment could possibly be
Imprisonment?
issued by the court.
Kulong
after
si
trial.
Sara.
But that cannot amount to the removal of the vice president, and that penalty, if it will be implemented, has to be after. Because the president and the vice
After
president
siya na
as
ma-remove,
impeachable
after
officers
impeachment.
can only be removed through that process of impeachment, which is a totally different process from a criminal prosecution.
Understood, Yusek, but following this train of thought, right, because of the higher threshold of evidence, which is now prima facie evidence, it also follows that eventually the panel of prosecutors could decide to just drop the charges if they can't find sufficient evidence, prima facie evidence at that.
Let me share the long-term vision of the Department of Justice. The court congestion is caused by so many cases filed where there is just a minimal amount of evidence that satisfies probable cause. That has caused so much problem already. That's why courts are
So siguruhin nila mga kababayan, malakas ang kaso
we
talaga.
have to stop that practice. Only
Laban kay
in this
Sara.
present administration did we institution this reform. Only when there is case and where evidence is complete will we actually file the case. So that eventually even the judges will find that the DOJ is very serious whenever it files cases. It does not file cases with weak evidence or weak cases. So that is the manner by which we will address court congestion. Cases that are strong will be filed, and serious cases will only be based on evidence. And if there is no evidence, as you are asking, there is no other option but to dismiss the prosecution and dismiss. So that is also a possibility if the evidence is insufficient. And that will come after preliminary investigation and all the parties are given
So
the chance
magiging very
to
fair
present
po
their side.
sila.
So the DOJ is going to begin the evaluation and preliminary investigation. But Yusek, if I recall correctly, shortly after her online press conference in November last year, we also spoke to the DOJ, not yourself, but I think it was Asek Clavano, if I recall correctly. And at that time, the DOJ said that it was already looking into the case, right? So whatever happened from that, and are you saying that you're starting from scratch now, or you've already got a case build up?
No, we are not starting from scratch. The National Bureau of Investigation is an attached agency of the Department of Justice. It was tasked to conduct the thorough investigation, and it is only now that they have completed their investigation, and it is only now that they are submitting these pieces of evidence that they have gathered. So it is not correct to say that we are not aware of the previous things that have been happening in the course of their investigation, but they have formally transmitted the result of their investigation, their findings, and it will now be given to a distinct panel of prosecutors for preliminary investigation. That is a different group that will make that evaluation and judgment.
So,
I
kumbaga,
guess-
one department to another.
Right. No, I understand that the NBI reports to the DOJ ultimately, but the timing of this all, to some people, is suspect because obviously this is coming 2 weeks after. We are, at the start of the midterm elections campaign, so it could be seen as political. Is my point, right?
No, absolutely. I will
Walang
have to say
politika.
there's nothing political about this particular process. We have to be very circumspect. We could not file a case earlier. We could not, just fast-track the investigation. We have to give the law enforcement agent sufficient time to complete the investigation. And if there is no evidence, then we will not proceed with the filing of the case. But definitely, if the DOJ, in the course of preliminary investigation, will find that there is no sufficient evidence, we will do what is necessary to give justice. And that is possibly dismiss the case. But all in the spirit of fairness, equality, due process, and always based on evidence. So we let us see in these coming days after we give the panel a chance to make that evaluation, and after the Vice President submits, hopefully, her counter affidavit, because even if she her counter affidavit during the proceedings before the NBI, she can still presently submit a counter affidavit to explain her defense.
So binibigyan po siya ng pagkakataon, leeway.
So last year when she
Enough
was summoned
time.
to the NBI headquarters to explain her side, she never appeared nor
Kahit
submitted
matigas
an
ang ulo.
affidavit. Okay.
Hindi nag-appear sa NBI, open pa rin yung DOJ.
But can we talk timelines here, Yusek? I know this is kind of an unfair question because sometimes things move differently, but as to Regina's point, and as you were saying, this is not political and it's just plodding along as it would in a regular proceeding. Yeah. Can you give us an idea? So you said that the NBI had this amount of time and they've determined that, okay, they're done, and now they toss the ball to the DOJ and now it goes to the panel of prosecutors. How much time will they be given for their preliminary investigation and evaluation? Is there roughly like some guidelines?
As I said, we will try to do everything in a very regular manner, meaning we will try to meet the normal deadlines, even for this case. And normally it is 60 days to 90 days for a panel or investigating prosecutor to complete the preliminary investigation. But again, we will be very flexible if the respondents would want more time to present their side. We will accommodate that. But ideally, it has to be completed within 60 to 90 days. If there are complex issues, 90 days. But if the evidence is already sufficient and the legal matter is not complex, hopefully we will be able to complete it within, at the most, 90 days.
60 to 90 days, kasabay ng kampanya. So magkikita ninyo po mga kababayan, paliit ng paliit po ang mundo ni Sara Duterte. And syempre, I think, pag nakita po ng kampo ng mga Duterte, ni Sara at ni Digong, na talagang delikado, mag-aala Harry Roque. Magtatago na lang po sila. Possibly po, humingi ng tulong kay Xi Jinping. Tama po mga kababayan, kung bakit paliit ng paliit ang mundo ng mga Duterte. Sabi nga natin, lahat ito kagagawa nila, nagmalabis. Sa mga naghanap po ng malinis and spacious fitness gym, pumunta lang po kayo sa aming Colossal Fitness Gym. We also offer Grab car rental with our brand new 2023 model ng Toyota Innova. We also accept booking for those who are planning to travel via PAL, Cebu Pacific, and other airline companies. Local and international, and bills payment for Meralco Bills, Aleco Bills, PLDT, etc. Ang Colossal Fitness Gym is located on 3rd floor Security Bank Building, Lanco Business Park, PTRI. For inquiries, look for Kilon Maravillas, contact number 0966-802-0949. Yan po yung aming Innova. Lagi na pong matao sa amin. Yan po mga bagong clients namin. Napakaganda at colorful at napakalinis ng aming gym po. Pati mga foreigners po pumupunta sa amin. Mga British tourist po sila dito sa Legazpi. Na-set up na rin po yung aming mga brand new gym equipment. May treadmill na rin po kami. Ito naman po yung bago naming product na binibenta online. Eye Glow Serum, whitening po siya. Tingnan ninyo yung epekto sa aking anak na architect before and now. Yung mga inquiries po ninyo, dumiretso na lang kayo sa kanyang Facebook account, Riz Maravillas. Ito naman po, Firmax Firming and Lifting Cream, pinapahid po sa mga pulses in affected area. Mainam po sa paninigas ng mga kaso-kasuan. Ito naman po, Automax Radiant Serum. Sa mukha naman yung application, anti-aging po siya. You will look 10 years younger than your age. Sa mga cancer patients naman po, baka lang gusto ninyo itong itry. Naing siya red mixed fruit drink. Hindi mo po siya gamot, food supplement siya. Kaya lang, gawa siya mga kababayan sa goji berry. Yung goji berry may anti-cancer properties. O ngayon, yung mga inquiries ninyo, dumiritso na lang kayo sa aming messenger sa Facebook para masagot namin agad. Ayos pa? Ayos na ayos niya, Mr. Maravilla.